Hey guys, I'm Matt. I'm cycling around the world on that thing right there, and I'm in a hotel in Nanning, which is in southern China. I'm about to cross over to Vietnam in a couple of days. A big milestone for my world cycle tour, but I like to come upon interesting things and talk about them on video. It's part of my series here, and I've come upon a very interesting thing. That car, those two covered cars, and those two white cars over there are very curious. Earlier, I was actually working on my trike here, and a couple of people came down the elevator. I'm on the lowest floor of a fairly new hotel. So this is a rarely used parking lot. So they had another car here, right here, that was covered along with these two. And they started pulling off the coverings. Now, if you don't know, I'm not gonna fault you for it, but I'm from Detroit, Motor City. That's where they manufacture a lot of these cars. And so I knew right away when they pulled off the cover that these are prototypes. You can tell from the pattern that they use. This pattern is actually used to break up the shape of the car, and the whole car is printed in this weird pattern. The whole thing, front to back. For some strange reason, there's some prototypes here, and the lady was working on it, and so I walked over and I kind of said, hey, is that a surprise car or a mystery car? I knew a few words in Chinese to ask. I was like, is that a secret? And she looked at me a little bit surprised, a little bit shocked, with that reaction like, oh God, what should I tell this guy? Because these are like not supposed to be known. People aren't supposed to be able to see them, see the shape of them, let alone inspect them or ask questions about them. But she's like, yeah, how do you know? I says, I'm from Detroit. We see cars like that on the road doing test rides around town sometimes as they go off to the factory, and then they come out and do a test ride and then they go back. Sometimes you'll see them with big pieces glued onto them so that it's bulbous. You can't really see the shape of it. And so I says, okay, you do your thing, don't worry about it. And so I walked away, I started working on the trike again. She came over and asked me, so what are you doing? I says, I'm cycling around the world. And I'm a YouTuber, and I gave her my card and everything. She's like, I was pretty surprised that you knew what they were. And I says, yeah, we have a lot of that stuff in Detroit. She's like, oh, I know, Can you, I says, what is the brand of that car? Can you tell me? Is it a Chinese brand? She's like, no, it's an American brand. I said, you have an American prototype here in a basement in Nanning, China, an American brand car prototype in the basement, which makes sense. I mean, here in China, they manufacture all sorts of parts and components for these cars, and sometimes they have to send the prototypes over so that they can get fitted out. She said that this was a Ford designed for the Chinese market, so they had to send it over here and design it to fit with the market, so they're kind of designing it for the Chinese market. A Ford designed in China for Chinese market. It's kind of interesting. So they pulled away and they left, and I'm like, it gives me a chance to kind of look around. So then I started looking around, and they've got, I'm sure all these cars are part of the same fleet. This one is a Ford. It's got a button here on the passenger side, and a weird dial over there, and a camera. And it's got is this a camera mount? I don't know. Kind of strange. And it's got a tongue hitch. So it must tow something heavy. And then there's another duplicate of that type of car here. There's like two sets of everything here right now. It's a Ford. This one's got a box. It's an ATI box. I don't know what that does, but there's an on-off switch on the passenger side. There's another weird dial there on the driver's side, and another boom here, a boom holder. They've got these two cars, which are, I think they're like Focuses. They both have a cutout for a mount here. Not sure what mount's there, but the Ford logo's taped over. This one has a Ford logo taped over too. They have a sort of a switch inside. And I'm not sure what that component is. They've got a coat on the side. When they had the cover off of those cars over there, I saw there was a number on that too. So they're coated, and then there's tape over the Ford logos. Interesting. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of strange. Some Ford's prototypes sitting in the basement of a Nanning hotel. Meanwhile, some Chinese ladies are dancing down the hall in this second floor basement of this hotel parking structure. just kind of juxtaposed. So just kind of give you some weird Chinese isms to tie off this video. This is a steel door, a bomb shelter door. You see there's two right here. Most Chinese basements here have these really heavy bomb doors. And you can see it fits perfectly in the doorway. I would rather not be here if and when this door needs to be operated, that's for sure. Anyways, so locked in a vault basement parking level of a Chinese hotel are a bunch of prototype Fords and some funny ladies dancing down the hall.